Okay, this is just want to give a quick little history lesson here on China, just to understand what is the Communist Party. This goes through the dynasties and also the beginning of communism. Now, the beautiful land of China. Now, this is the last flag of the dynasties, which was the Qing Dynasties. Now, China is a beautiful land. It's a beautiful land that we've got here in Australia as well. China's a wondrous land and consists of 5,000 years of culture. Now, it's made up of 16 dynasties. Now, over the last 5,000 years, it's had 16 dynasties, and in those dynasties, ranging hundreds of years to 100 years, they've had their fair share of wars and trouble. But after each one became a new dynasty, and then the start of a new empire. The Shah dynasty was the first dynasty, 2,100 years BC. And like I said, they have their wars and their ups and their downs, and they just live a normal sort of life. And after each dynasty, after the battle came, so began a new dynasty. The Tang dynasty was said to be the most prosperous dynasty. And each dynasty believed in heaven and hell and good and bad, the Buddhas, Taoists and gods, and the emperors were said to be the sons of heaven. So they always looked to heaven for guidance. They lived normal lives after each mishap, and they went on for 5,000 years. Now, the Qing dynasty was the last dynasty, which ended in 1911, and that was the end of the imperial science. So it's from 1600 to 1911. And so began the Republic of China. Now, this went on for 1912 to 1949 until the start of communism. But over that time, we had World War One, and after World War One, end of 1918, had the French, the British, Russians, and all sorts of them wanted to have a little piece of the pie in China, and all sat down at the table. However, in 1919, the large student uprise helped the beginning of communism. After the war, Russia got involved. Stalin and Marxism involved with the formation of China. And because of this student movement, because the Kuomintang was said to be having talks with Japan, and that's sort of give birth a little bit to communism. The Japanese did invade in 1937, and at the beginning of obviously World War II, the two parties that were sort of under civil war, which was the Kuomintang and communism, Mao Zedong, they had to combine forces, and World War II began. Now, at the end of World War II, the two parties that had battled before, the Kuomintang and communism, went back into civil war and lasted for another 4 years. And at the end of that 4 years, the communists did prevail. And the Kuomintang fled China to Taiwan, where they are now stationed today and remain there. And that's the conflict they have between the two countries. Mao Zedong gave his victory speech in 1949 in Tiananmen Square. And so was born the Chinese Communist Party. And in the time that Mao was the chairman, 1949 to 1976, over 50 million unnatural deaths occurred of the Chinese people. It is estimated, and some say that it's more than both world wars put together. Mao done some terrible things in that time to establish his power over the people. Anyone that was an intellectual that had any knowledge, brainier than him, if you like, was portrayed before the people and shamed, and then they were taken out and given a kangaroo court out in the middle of nowhere and shot. He done this to many thousands, over 5,000, 10,000 intellectuals, and killed their families and everything. I think it was about 1958 and 59, Mao had this great idea that, because he wanted to be the world leader in all sorts of things, steel and grain and what have you. So he had this the Four Pest campaign, where he told his people to kill the mosquito, the fly, the sparrow, and the rat. So everyone went hell to leather, killing everything, and in the ecological imbalance because of that. Because Mao said that a sparrow could eat 6 pounds of grain a year, so get rid of them all. And in the imbalance, locusts took over and ate everything, and caused a huge starvation of the Chinese people. Absolutely millions and millions died of starvation because there was just no grain, and the disease got around. There's no rats to eat the stuff, and the mosquitoes, and fathers were burying their children. And the Cultural Revolution, 1966 to 1976. That'll be the next short video. But this is the motto that started off with the Cultural Revolution: battle with heaven, fight with the earth, struggle with humans. Therein lies endless joy. Okay, till next time. Thanks.